Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi allegedly applauded Temitope for, taking the initiative to go bring her children to Ife where she can put an eye on them and also care for them as a mother should, even though other wives have used this to, bring her down. They have kind of used it as a piece of gossip for everyone to eat from, because they are under the opinion that the reason why Oni Dr. Temitope will get up and do everything that the Ooni of Ife is asking of her is because she had her own ulterior motive. The reason why she was the first person who got up and got a house for the Ooni of Ife to buy for her was because she wanted to bring her children close to her. She was worried the entire time she didn't tell the Ooni of Ife, because before they got married, Ooni had made mention of the fact that they will not bring their children to the palace or bring their families to the palace because of the experiences he got from his previous marriage with Olori Naomi. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Delarama. I bring you fresh and spicy gist from the source, still on the Royals. Happy New Week once again. I appreciate you. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. May God bless you. Okay, so very quickly, report reaching us right now is that though the wives to the Ooni of Ife are busy dragging Olori Temitope back to back for, bringing the children to Ife, Queen Naomi and Ooni of Ife applauded Queen Naomi for doing that, because they said that it's a mother's responsibility, as a matter of fact, a mother's civic responsibility to be there and care for their children and not let other people raise their children for them. And Ooni went further to state categorically that is the reason why he is so bent on bringing Tadenikawo into the palace, because yes, so a good mother raises her children and do not allow other people to raise their children, or a good parent, okay? And so what is going on is that when the Ooni of Ife made it clear that the women will not be staying in the palace and informed them that there will be need for them to go out there in search of, their apartment so he can buy for them. It was alleged that the first person who went out there was Dr. Temitope, and Temitope got her apartment, and Ooni of Ife was able to pay for the apartment. From what we are hearing, they say 89 million, some say 83 million, okay? And so they started renovating. Right now it is set and everything is okay. Now, before Ooni will even say Jack Robinson, Temitope had already moved her things to the apartment, but while other wives were still in the palace, they said Temitope left most of her things. She shuttles between her apartment and the palace. Now, all of this drama with wife going out, wife coming in and all of that, Temitope has had absolutely no problem with them, with it. And only recently, just last week, we heard that she went to Abeokuta, that her kids are in Abeokuta. They said she went and brought her kids back to Ife and to keep in her apartment so she can, see them and raise them by herself. And so this event has made tongues in the palace to begin to wag that, okay, we now understand why the rush. She did not even fight to stay in the palace. The entire time she's been very worried about her kid, because she wanted her kids to be close to her, but she had no choice, because Ooni said that none of them would bring their families to the palace. She had no choice. She really wanted the marriage, so she had to go and leave those kids in Ife. So when there was an opportunity for her to bring the kids back to her, she just took that opportunity so much. So for Dr. Temitope, it does seem as if she staying married to the Ooni of Ife and she being outside the palace is a win-win for her. It does seem as if that she is the only one who is really benefiting from this, because she wanted to be close to her family. Now, they said her previous marriage was really terrible, that she went through a lot. But you know that when it comes to us women, we are so quick to judging other women, because now if you see the things that women go through in some of these marriages, you will not say a word, because you will never be able to tell, and sometimes you find out that you're never able to take it. For instance, now look at what is going on in the palace of the Ooni of Ife. When Ooni of Ife was there with Queen Naomi had her difficult times and she was trying to make her marriage work. She went through a lot. Imagine that you have a husband. The husband was busy flaunting Abike Jagaban. The husband was busy. Laide Badmus was there. Ashley was right there under their nose and everything. It must have been very, very difficult for Olori Naomi. But Naomi was still there trying to make the marriage work. It was at a point where she could no longer bear it that she decided to leave the marriage. And at that point, people had a lot to say about her. Look at those women now. They are all married to the Ooni of Ife. And Oni will do one thing here for this person, they will shout. Oni will do the other thing for this person, they will shout. Can you imagine what Nami went through the other time? And so if they had not come in to see the life of the royal palace, they would never have appreciated Nami for what she went through and what she was bearing, even though she was glowing so much. But right now, it's a good thing that everybody knows that Nami went through a lot. You know, what Naomi took while she was in the palace is something that these Oloris would never take. Half of it they can never take. Oni was busy flying to the UK. Abike Jagaban was all over the place. Abike Jagaban was always opening her mouth. Imagine when Nami even went out and said she was no longer marrying again. Abike Jagaban even went online and said all of those things and all of that. You knowing that you are the mistress. And at that time, they blamed her completely for everything that was happening because they didn't know that there were so many other Oloris. They didn't even know so much about the drama that unfolded between Ashley and Olori Naomi. But right now, these women are beginning to see that it's not easy. So what are we even saying now? Temitope brought her children to her house, like the house that the Ooni of Ife bought for her. They say the children are right now in Ile-Ife with their nanny, and Temitope's grandmother is also there. I don't know if they say Temitope's mother and their nanny, they are all there in Ile-Ife in that house. And Temitope is very happy because the children are very close to her. If they decide that the women will stay in the palace, now it would have been best for Temitope. She stays in the palace, she still has a house outside and her children are there and she is happy. She's comfortable because, of course, the children are well taken care of. And so this is why the women were taunting her up and down, and Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi decided to, applaud her for taking such initiative, understanding that those children are her full responsibility. For a good mother, you want to first make the decision to take care of your children first before any other thing. And so they have gone ahead to applaud Temitope. And me too, I'm applauding Temitope because, everything worked together for good to them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Temitope has been supportive towards Queen Naomi, and I do think this is why things are beginning to work in her favor. Wanted to bring you this update. I'm going to bring you more. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.